I always thought TV was the end all be all. One of my first deals, I would meet with the seller and she would always be watching TV, and she was just an older gal with a house that needed to be fixed up. And so I was like, man, like if someone was on that TV, they'd be reaching all the people like this. And so I knew that's where I wanted to go eventually, but I didn't think that I was like big enough to make it there. And after a couple of years of doing direct mail and websites and stuff, I had a business coach kind of push me to, like figure out where I want to go and how I'm going to get there. And one of the biggest keys to getting where I want to go was doing more effective marketing, and that was TV. And so I ended up taking the plunge on it, even though I was pretty unsure, because I thought that was how to get to the next level, and it absolutely was. I'm really glad I did it. I mean, I definitely recommend it. Of course, it's changed my business and my life in the process. The credibility is incredible. I don't think you can get it anywhere else. It's effective. I mean, as far as bringing in good deals and stuff, it's been great for that. And then like the referrals that come off of it too, because even when someone has a friend that wants to sell a house. Yeah, I had a gal call me yesterday. She's like, my sister said she saw you on TV and you buy houses. So like, not only is it reaching the viewers that are actually on TV, but you're getting the referral power from it also, which is a pretty big plus as well. That has all been fine. And it's cool because like I'll get calls from people wanting to put me on cable or radio or whatever, and I'll just send them to Heather, and she kind of deals with that and tells me what I need to do. And honestly, I haven't really looked at any other marketing because the TV does so well. And I'm like, just focus on operations and growing everything else, because we got plenty of leads and deals coming in the door. And something that I think people don't probably take into account when they're thinking about doing TV is, the time you spend on direct mail dealing with return mail or skip tracing, different parts of that process, or the time you spend on PPC or PPL dealing with leads that don't know who you are and don't trust you and that don't close as well. Like that time is worth a ton of money, more than just your return on ad spend when it comes to the TV. And so my favorite thing about the process is how hands off it is and how much time it gives me to focus on other parts of the business.
Want to get motivated sellers that nobody knows about? Introducing 10x TV. If you want to create credibility in your market, find deals that nobody else knows about, and crush your competition, you need to check into TV commercials. It is the new buzz in the real estate investing industry since we introduced it several years ago. I've been using TV commercials myself for the last 12 years and it's absolutely crushed it. So if you want to learn how to get on TV and to do something that little to no people are doing right now, go to claimmymarket.com. Again, that's claimmymarket.com. We usually only work with 2 investors per market, so if you're interested, reach out to us and book a call to see if you can claim your market before anybody else does. Now back to the show.
Yeah, 100%. I think the only caveat to that would be, if you're real early on, like maybe get some deals under your belt and stuff and get some experience dealing with sellers, or hire someone that has that and some capital. Because I think that, it's not, I feel like if you tried it when you were earlier on or if I had tried it when I was earlier on in my journey, I might not have made it because I didn't know what I was doing and couldn't convert and things of that nature. But other than that, man, I'd say go for it. It's a game changer. Yeah, that was great because I didn't have to think about it at all, right? Like I just rehearsed the lines they gave me, and then I drank a couple White Claws and showed up to the studio and was able to film that, and it went really well. I mean, I literally have people that have called me and said, hey, like, I don't have a house to sell, but I just wanted to tell you, you got a really good commercial. Like, thanks for putting good stuff on the TV. And I'm like, wow, like that's pretty powerful. And it's cool because it all went that well. And it was so low effort for me because I could agonize over making sure every detail is perfect with that kind of stuff. But, 10X took care of that for me. I guess what hasn't it done for me? I was talking about the credibility thing. So when people call me, like they already trust me, it's easier to have the conversations and find out the stuff that I need to know in the sales process to do something. Other investors pay more attention to me, private money lenders, really anyone or for anything. They're like, oh, you're that guy on TV. It's instant credibility, and you're, that much farther along than you would be if you were someone anonymous to them. So that's definitely a huge benefit. So, which I should have looked at this beforehand. I had 475 leads last year, and I would assume that somewhere around 350 of those were probably TV. In the beginning, there was a lot more people that just weren't familiar with what we're doing and that, were calling in maybe to get a value on their house, things like that. But as we've been around longer, gotten a lot better leads, and people are calling us that should be calling us with houses and situations that, make sense for us to be involved in. And so the leads will probably be a bit less this year, but there's going to be more qualified leads, I think. And so it's been really good results in that area. So one of the things that happened last year with TV was I still had some mindset problems from, just my entrepreneur journey, in that I always want to hold everything and I want to do every deal, because I came from a place of having to work my ass off to find a good deal, to now good deals come to me all the time. And so what I ran into was taking on too many deals at once, or trying new deals where I didn't have the experience that I should have, or, just having too much going on and missing stuff. And how that showed up in the numbers was there was deals where I lost money. I mean, one TV deal I lost $31,000 on because I didn't know the town that I was making the offer in, and I made some other assumptions that just weren't true. And so I don't have the ROI right offhand, but if I did, I think what it looks like last year versus what it's going to look like this year is going to be night and day difference, because I've learned so many lessons and got better about being focused and, frankly, turning away more deals, or referring a lot more deals to keep myself out of trouble. We've already talked about all of them. I think, there's the credibility. I think the market share, I'm interested to see long term. I think, probably 50 to 60% of the area I market to knows who I am and what I do. And as I continue to market and people continue to talk about me and refer me and that kind of stuff, I think in a few years, it's going to be 70, 75%. And that is like a huge investment. I think that I'm the first person people think of, or 70% of people are going to think of, when that kind of situation arises. You can't get that with direct mail. You can't get that with SEO or PPC. Like, I think you can only get that through social media and TV. And, the target demographics we're after are on TV. And so I think that's a big long-term thing, is building that market share, aside from just the leads and stuff that do come in.